The River Mersey is calm, but with gentle rain, a slight chill and a definite breeze. The calm after the storm, perhaps. 3 long, grueling days of qualification as hundreds of gymnasts from over 70 nations took to Liverpool's M&S Bank Arena to secure a place in 6 days of finals. Finals which start today, which start now with the women's team competition. It's been tough. It's been a test for the world's finest, and they have weathered the storm. But they have an old song in these parts that echoes from Anfield all the way to the sea. They know in Liverpool that at the end of a storm, there's a golden sky. And so it begins. The gymnasts walk on through the wind. They walk on through the rain, though their dreams may be tossed and blown. But with their teammates beside them, they will keep hope in their hearts, because in a team final, you'll never walk alone. The warmest of welcomes to you indeed, wherever in the world you call home, whoever you're supporting, however long you've been watching the great sport of artistic gymnastics. Ollie Hockben here, and it is my great pleasure to have alongside me for this women's team final, Blythe Lawrence. Blythe, and then there were 8.
8 teams, 3 places on the podium. As things stand after the qualification round, Ollie, the USA is the team to beat, as they have been for the past decade. But now the slate has been wiped clean, and they have to do it all again. And in the team final, the competition format changes. 3 gymnasts compete on each apparatus, and all scores count toward the team total. In qualification, teams had the luxury of dropping a score. Now they don't. And that's going to put more pressure on the USA and everyone else not to make mistakes.
Your 8 teams that have made it through. Let's have a look at the warm-up area where the final preparations have recently been taking place. The top qualifiers, the United States of America, Shilese Jones, an enormous part of that team, silver medalist in the all-around competition at the National Championships, in an American team that's going for 6 titles in a row. Jessica Gadirova, Olympic medalist of Great Britain, the 2nd strongest performing nation in the qualification process, and a proven performer. Talking of proven performers, Rebeca Andrade of Brazil, top qualifier for the all-around final and leading a Brazil team that was the 3rd best performers in qualification. Martina Maggio of Italy, who's had a very successful time of things at late, including at the Mediterranean Games and the European Championships. The Italian team qualified 4th, just above Japan. Miyata Shoko, part of a team of debutants. Yes, exactly. They were in great spirits, in a fantastic mood. The People's Republic of China with Tang Xijing, the surprise all-around silver medalist from 2019 in Stuttgart. They qualified in 6th place. Qualifying 7th, the French, and welcome back to the World Championships to Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, one of the finest all-around gymnasts in the world. And on the subject of finest all-around gymnasts in the world, Ellie Black. If ever there's somebody you want, if you're a team of Canadian debutants, to be leading you out, it's Ellie Black. And she is back, and Canada were the 8 strongest qualifiers. Those are your runners and riders. Those are your teams. Everything else, goodness only knows. I mean, really, Blythe, we have explored permutations for this, and we've come to the conclusion that there are really no conclusions. We know the USA are the favourites. Everything else we've no idea about, and that's jolly good fun.
It's going to be a fantastic team final. All of these teams looked wonderful in qualification, and there is potential for a shuffling of the leaderboard to take place. We will have to wait and see.
It is go, go, go as the nations are about to come out onto the field of play. Oh, there's been so much excitement about the Brazilian squad. Should have to say that Flavia Saraiva did pick up what looked like an unpleasant injury in the qualification process. She is, according to the start list, scheduled to perform on all 4 pieces tonight. We'll wait and see how that unfolds, and we hope that all is well for her. It did look like she had a rather unpleasant time of things on vault in the qualification process.
Yes, indeed. On vault in the qualification, she attempted a double twisting Yurchenko, came up slightly under-rotated, and looked like she nicked her knee a little bit. She was limping afterwards, and they are being very careful with her, monitoring her closely. But it looks like at this point they have cleared her to compete tonight.
And we've cleared you to get excited watching them all over the world. It is wonderful to have you with us. Oh, the thrill of finals action beginning at the World Championships of Artistic Gymnastics. The 4th time that the World Championships have taken place in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Just the 2nd time that we've had a team competition, though. That's rather interesting. Doesn't always happen at the World Championships. There wasn't one in Birmingham, there wasn't one in London. It's 1993 and 2009 respectively, but there was one in Glasgow. And Blythe, you made the interesting point earlier that Great Britain always seems to have a big watershed moment in these home World Championships.
Great Britain has hosted the World Championships 4 times now, and at each of those championships there has been a milestone moment. A silver medal on floor exercise for Neil Thomas in 1993 in Birmingham, a gold medal on the floor exercise for Beth Tweddle in 2009 in London, and in 2015 the women's team bronze medal, a first as a team. And so there is something of a precedent, isn't there?
That is a mouth-watering prospect for those of you out there that are supporting the British team today. We'll look at all of the major milestones as we go through, but we must mention the United States of America have got a chance to do something that no one has ever done before.
They are going for their 6th consecutive team gold medal. They have won every team gold medal since 2011. No other team has won 6 in a row on the women's side. Romania did it from 1994 to 2001. So at the moment, in the record books, the U.S. and Romania tied at 5 in a row. The U.S. could make it 6 tonight.
Brazil's best finish was 5th in 2007. Italy have won 2 bronze medals in 1950 and 2019. Japan, 2 bronze medals in the 1960s. China, 11 medals in total, 1 title in 2006. France, silver medalists in Basel in Switzerland in 1950. And Canada, their best finish, 4th place in Doha in 2018. So for those of you who are reasonably new to watching artistic gymnastics, and I know that the World Championships often draws in new viewers, particularly as we start to inch closer and closer to the Olympiad. Just to be explicitly clear, what you're going to see is the women's team final, first rotation to get us underway, and the teams are paired by their best mates from qualification. So the USA and Great Britain, who qualified 1st and 2nd, will start on the vault and go in what is often colloquially known as the Olympic order, all the way through, finishing on the floor exercise. Brazil and Italy, the 3rd and 4th strongest qualifiers, will start on the uneven bars, and so on and so forth. And we're going to start now. What a fantastic team Japan was in qualification. They're all debutants, and yet they were the 5th best performers. People's Republic of China, the 6th strongest performers in the qualification process. Always a threat for team honours.
Please welcome France, represented by Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, Aileen Fries, Colleen Devia, Caroline Hedwig, Marine Boyer, and Morgan Osisek-Rema. Team France.
The French team, who qualified in 7th place, they've won just 1 team medal at the World Championships back in 1950. They've got a great squad though.
Represented by Danelle Patrick, Sydney Turner, Ellie Black, Emma Spence, and Laurie Denomie.
The Canadian team have 1 returner, and it's the gymnast you were looking at there, Ellie Black. The rest are debutants, but when you've got Ellie Black alongside you, you'll be fine.
Starting on the uneven bars. Please show your support for Brazil. Represented by Rebecca
Now we're into the top
Andrade,
3 and 4
Flavia
qualifiers.
Serrera, Lauren Oliveira, Caroline Pedro, Julia Suarez, and Crystal Becerra.
The Brazilian team, 3rd best in qualification, and boasting the likes of Rebecca Andrade, the best individual all-around qualifier. They've never won a team medal. Could they? Could they? So many people are behind the Seleção Brasileira.
Represented by Alice D'Amato, Martina Maggio, Veronica Mandriata, Georgia Villa, Manila Esposito, and Elisa Iorio. Team Italy.
The Italian team, the surprise bronze medalists from 2019, but there's no surprise now. They are the nation in European women's team competition. They had a phenomenal European Championships.
The United States of America.
Now the top 2 qualifiers.
Represented by Leanne Wong, Charlize Jones, Jordan Childs, Jade Carey, Sky Blakely, and Lexi Zeiss. The United States of America.
That is quite some team, and they were the top performers in qualification, going for 6 of the best, the United States of America.
And now, please welcome Great Britain.
Oh my goodness, it's got noisy in the M&S Bank Arena. I wonder why.
Represented by Jessica Gadirova, Alice Kinsella, Ondina Champon, Georgia May Fenton, Jennifer Gadirova, and Poppy Grace Dickler. Great Britain.
The 2nd strongest performers in qualification, Great Britain. Their only medal, a bronze in Glasgow in 2015. They tend to perform very well at home. Oh, what a start. Thank you to Dr. Lisa Gannon, who did the announcing duties there, veteran voice of Gymnastics Arena presentation. She's joined by, as I'm sure many of you saw earlier, the great Danusia Francis on the competition floor, Olympic gymnast. The United States of America and Great Britain will get things underway at the vaulting table. We just say at this time a huge congratulations to Lexi Zeiss and Poppy Stickler, the reserve gymnasts for these two nations, and how well they've done to be part of these teams. We won't see them actually competing out on the floor today, but they are an important part of this setup. Brazil and Italy will get underway on the uneven bars. Cristal Bezerra and Elisa Iorio, the reserve gymnast for their nations. Over on the balance beam, it will be Japan and the People's Republic of China. Ashikawa Urara and Heli Cheng, the reserve gymnasts for those nations. And France and Canada will begin on the floor exercise. Morgana Cissé-Karaima, the reserve gymnast for France. And we'd just like, on behalf of the whole gymnastics community, to give our best wishes to Shalon Olsen, the Canadian reserve gymnast, who regrettably has had to withdraw from the competition due to a family bereavement. I'm sure that you will join me in wishing the very best to her and those she holds dearest, who she has returned to be with. Well then, the last moment of a touch of calm, perhaps. Blythe, you were scrutinising the numbers earlier before ripping up all the bits of paper and throwing them into the air like confetti and going, what's the point? But something you observed was that United States and Great Britain very close at the vaulting table.
Yes, indeed. The United States had a really strong showing on floor, actually, which helped put them over the top in the qualification. But Britain is not far behind at all. And the great thing about this great British team is that they were able to keep pace with the U.S. on vault. And on uneven bars, they were just half a point back. If they can do a bit better on balance beam and floor exercise, we could have a real fight for this gold medal.
I think that's beautifully put. And as we look at the peloton, as we look at the chasing pack, well, for Japan and for the People's Republic of China, it's going to be very interesting. Two quite different teams, although they're going side by side. For the People's Republic of China, we suspect the potential for quite significant improvements, actually.
Certainly. China has the best uneven bars team in the world by 2 points in qualification, and they were the third best on balance beam. But they only ranked 8th among these teams on vault. Vault and floor exercise are the events where they're going to have to maximize their potential in order to challenge for the podium here.
For the Japanese, it will really be a matter of can they deliver again what they did in qualification, where they were absolutely superb. Now over on the floor we have the Canadian team. We just had a look at there with Ellie Black, the most experienced of their team, but they had an excellent Commonwealth Games without Ellie Black, performed really well. And we have the Italians on the uneven bars. And the Italians, it's a different look squad, isn't it, from the European Championships? But one would be foolhardy to write off the Italians, ever.
The Italians have a deep and quite experienced squad, or at least they did at the European Championships, and they've retained 3 of the 5 members of that team. However, there have been some injuries on the Italian team lately, and so they have brought in 2 world debutant gymnasts who did a very nice job in qualification.
Warm-ups are in the process of concluding, winding down before we all get wound up about this women's team final. Oh, what a great pleasure it is to sit here not really knowing quite how this is going to unfold.
First up on the floor, representing France, it's Marine Boyer.
We begin on the floor with France and Marine Boyer, the 22-year-old based in Paris, born in Réunion. Experienced gymnast to get France underway. What a luxury to have a gymnast like her to get you started twice at the Olympic Games. Marine Boyer, she's somebody who's spoken of just how much she needs big competitions and thrives upon big competitions. So you'd want her to get you underway. First look at the Brazilian squad. Lohane Oliveira, the 24-year-old from Sao Paulo who competed at the Olympic Games in Rio. She has been the Pan American champion on the uneven bars.
Lovely Maloney to immediate pack salto to get things underway. There's the Van Leuven transition from low to high. We're going to be seeing a lot of those elements tonight. Pike Jaeger. Lovely form so far. Everything straight to the handstand and a really smooth, pretty swing. Double front half out dismount. Beautiful.
Oh, what a nice beginning from Brazilian Lohane Oliveira. She scored 13.233 in qualification. It will be most interesting to compare that to what we've just seen there. We'll come back to that in due course. Jordan Charles, the United States of America, to vault.
This should be a double twisting Yurchenko, one of her tried and true vaults.
Tried and true indeed. Very good beginning from Jordan Charles. She scored 14.466 for that in qualification.
She has fantastic block off the horse, or the table rather, push off the horse, gets her up in the air to complete that twist.
It's nice to go classical occasionally with our terminology. Just been at the asymmetric bars after all. 14.4 for Jordan Charles, that's very comparable from qualification. Bronze medalist on vault at the National Championships in August. Alice Kinsella of Great Britain performed securely, very securely in qualification, scoring 14.266.
She too is planning to do a double twisting Yurchenko.
And that also has gone well. Little move back on the landing from Alice Kinsella, but it's going to be a decent number produced by the British team to get their campaign underway.
Was very good in the air. She too has an excellent block. Very small leg separation coming off of the table and the hop on the landing. But other than that, there's not much to take from this vault.
France's Marine Boyer scoring 13.133, down by almost a couple of tenths from qualification, quite comparable. And the same for Lohane Oliveira, 13.2, that's down by less than a tenth from qualification, so good secure beginning. Looking rather relieved about it actually, just to get things underway and do so well. Now to our first look at the People's Republic of China. Tang Xijing, silver medalist at the Olympic Games on the balance beam. The 19-year-old they called the Silver Princess after her accomplishments at the Olympics and at the World Championships in 2019.
starts off with a round-off layout step-out mount, one of the most complicated that we will see tonight. Beautiful execution of the round-off layout to 2 feet.
Oh, now, that is the first tricky moment that we've seen in this team final for Tang Xijing of the People's Republic of China. And it can happen to the best of them, and goodness knows she is one of the very best on this piece.
And the switch ring leap that she fell on is one of the hardest things to do on balance beam. In order to get full difficulty credit for it, your head has to go all the way back, your foot has to be level or higher with your head, and it's just very, very risky. And once again, she comes off. Every time you fall off the beam, a full mark deduction is taken.
That is a really unfortunate start for Tang Xijing and for the People's Republic of China. We just have to take a moment to remind ourselves of the pressure of a team final like this, even for a gymnast like her, who is the reigning national champion in all-around competition and a great Olympic medalist. Sometimes you just have a difficult routine. 14.133 for Alice Kinsella. That is very comparable to qualification, down by just over a tenth. Charlize Jones scored 14.2 in qualification.
This is such an exciting vault, just beautiful.
Well, on the subject of exciting, just Charlize Jones full stop as a gymnast. You know, she is one of the most popular out there, isn't she?
So much power and amplitude on this double twisting Yurchenko. Now, she does take a pretty significant step forward on the landing. That will cost her 0.3 of a point, maybe even 0.5 of a point.
So it's a 13.933.
And yet the execution is still super high because she does that so well in spite of the step on the landing.
Down by around 0.3 from qualification. We'll keep you abreast of all of these changes as we get to the end of the rotations. We hand over to Jessica Gadirova of Great Britain, a 14.4 in qualification. She has been a medalist at the European Championships on vault. Well, that was powerful vaulting.
Tremendous lift off of the table in her double twisting Yurchenko, and so much power. She had a slight problem controlling that landing, resulting in the small hop.
Gets real distance, doesn't she, away from the table?
It's very impressive. Very clean in her twist as well. There's no crossing of the legs or bending at the knees, anything like that.
What an engrossing beginning already to this women's team competition. An opportunity to catch up with the Italian team. Going through her preparations. Martina Maggio, all-around bronze medalist at the European Championships, part of the team that won gold.
She has a terrific swing. And indeed, on this ray, toe to Tkachev, she casts out too far and is not able to catch the bar, even though she's fully extended. And I was going to say, if there is a nervous event for her, it is the uneven bars. We saw at the European Championship, she did have problems in the all-around final. although it was on a different element. Uprise Kachev and comes off again.
It's really important and regrettable at this stage just to offer that reminder that unlike qualification, every single routine, every score will count.
This was a different problem than the first release. She's a bit too close to the bar and isn't able to get her hands around it as she'd like in order to be able to swing cleanly out of it. Regardless of the fault, you have to admire her for the cleanliness of her swing and for the beauty of this work.
You're absolutely right, Blythe. Martina Maggio is a gymnast with extraordinary form, with a real sense of grace in how she performs, and it would be so unwise to assess her solely on that routine. She has proven herself. 14.2 for Jessica Gadirova, down by 2/10 from qualification. Well, you want a vaulter? You got one. Jade Carey.
And this is the hardest vault we'll see in this competition. It's a Cheng, and it is stunning.
Well, that Cheng could ring in the changes when we look at the leaderboard in a moment, because that will help the United States of America open up a little advantage.
So much going on here. Round off onto the board, half turn onto the table, and then a front flip with 1.5 twists off, and just controlled all the way through.
14.8, yes, that'll do the job. Up by 2/10 from qualification. She's an outrageously calm performer, isn't she, Jade Carey? Incredible competition head.
Oh, yes. She is the type of gymnast that you want in a pressure situation like this.
A gymnast who has come on leaps and bounds over the last few years. The remarkably accomplished Ondina Champong of Great Britain.
And she can be fantastic on this apparatus as well.
And there's an example of it. What a good opening this has been from the British team. And we see there the all-around silver medalist at the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games.
What a calm, clean double twisting Yurchenko. The only thing, she is ever so slightly offline as she comes off the table, resulting in not being completely centered as she lands, but it's small.
The Japanese team look to be in the sort of spirits that they were in qualification, and regrettably the Italian team do not look to be in the same sort of spirits that they have been in of late. It's 11.7 for Martina Maggio. There's nothing that one can say in a situation like that. Rebeca Andrade of Brazil. She scored 14.666 for this crackerjack of a routine in qualification.
Without question, this is one of the best bar routines in the world, and the reason is the combinations. Pike Kachev, hack salto, immediate Van Leuven. Wonderful. Tremendous height on her Pike Jaeger. And the dismount in combination, toe stalder full twisting double tap.
Oh, be serious. That is a beautiful piece of gymnastics in a pressure cooker environment. Rebeca Andrade, what a start.
And she's just so consistent with this routine. She can do it over and over and over again. And it's like a carbon copy each time.
Tang Si-jing with a score of 10.7 on the balance beam. And regrettably for her, that is down by almost 2 full marks from qualification. So we've got some interesting data to have a look at in a little while. But a chance now to see for the first time a Japanese team who were so very impressive in the preliminary round. We'll come back to them in a short while. Let's get this score, 14.366 for Ondina Champong. Just a 10th change from qualification. Oyu Shen of the People's Republic of China, the 18-year-old who won a bronze medal on beam at the National Championships in September. This was a fine routine in qualification, a brilliant routine.
Front handspring to immediate punch front, right on. Beautiful leap combination as well. The switch leap to the same thing with a half turn to an immediate core butt salto. A switch ring leap to a ring jump. It's really just compounding the difficulty. Having to have her head go back twice and lose sight of the beam. Nobody else in the world does it like the Chinese. Cleanly through the side, Sami. This has been brilliant. This has been the Chinese standard of balance beam. Round off 2.5 twist.
And a complication on the dismount in what was otherwise, as you quite rightly said, Clyde, the standard that we have come to expect from them on this most challenging of apparatus. It's been a challenging beginning for the People's Republic of China. Let's just have another look at this dismount.
She's slightly under-rotated, and that results in the steps off the mat. Each of those will incur 1 to 3/10 of a point in execution.
I shall update you in a moment on some of the other numbers when we get to the end of the rotation. A lot to keep track of. And now, Yamada Chiharu, I should say, apologies, of Japan.
Handspring layout step out. Required combination of acrobatic elements. It's one thing that's obligatory on balance beam. Some do 2, some do 3. She landed that punch front rather low, but was able to stand it up without much of a complication. Everything can change on balance beam in the space of a second, but so far she looks incredibly solid and composed, as does her team.
We are seeing from Japan exactly what we saw in qualification. They lit up the place. Look at the team spirit. They said it after the qualification round. Miyata Shoko commented on how the team were just enjoying every moment of it, drinking it in, and well, that's a 3/10 jump from qualification. 12.766 for Yamada Chiharu. They're all debutants. Well, she's not. 14.633, almost the same as qualification for Rebecca Andrade, the silver medalist on the uneven bars at the World Championships last year. 14.266 for Oyu Shen of the People's Republic of China, and that is a very important number for them, up from qualification by over 3/10. Well, we simply must give a gymnast like Sydney Turner a moment in the spotlight, because she has been a revelation in World Cup competition this year. What an exciting young athlete. She is a gymnast who's got bags of potential.
What a delightful exercise. She's so clean in her tumbling, but she's also tremendously expressive, isn't she? And in the middle of 90 seconds of very complicated tumbling and choreography, she has a press to handstand, something that requires quite a lot of strength, and throws that in as well. Fabulous.
To Japan, and Miyata Shoko on the balance beam. She scored 13.7 in qualification.
And as we mentioned before, this is a Japanese team that is really untested, but they were so collected in the team qualification. She looks wholly unfazed and very aggressive. She was just a bit over-rotated on that double turn, and on balance beam that can turn into a problem very quickly, and she just completely handled it.
And again, there's a nice example of minimizing those deductions. Calm, very calm.
Just needed to bend her knees a little bit coming out of the side somi, and she makes the correction, and on she goes. Dismount, round off double pike.
Well, lots of occasions there when Miyata Shoko managed to stabilize something that looked as though it was hurtling out of control. Yes, you're not the only one. We all just did that. But, I mean, again, the composure of this teenager from Kyoto.
And once again, this could have been a really big problem. She could have so easily put her hands down, and she didn't.
13.233 the score. It is a drop by a few tenths from qualification, but it's more about what she saved than what she lost there. Oh, you just have to enjoy that Japanese team. Watching them is such fun. Lori from the People's Republic of China on the balance beam. Now she scored 10.766 in qualification.
And then she came back and had the best performance of anyone on uneven bars. But this is another chance for her. And alas, China is having a rough one on the balance beam. This is uncharacteristic for them at the world level.
Chinese squad, after their qualification performances, talked about how loud the atmosphere was in the arena, how excited the crowd was, and actually that they did say very frankly, and credit to them for their honesty, they said it rattled them, it did get to them a little, hearing such excitement from the stands. They've been used to quieter competitions. A very honest and frank thing for them to say.
And once again, despite the fall, there is so much beauty and quality in this work. Dismount, round off double tuck.
She's part of the impressive Guangdong provincial team that has won 3 consecutive team titles at the national championships. She wasn't too far away at all from making that difficult sequence work. Oh, your heart really does go out to the Chinese team in this first rotation. They've had a really tricky one, but my goodness, they've got the caliber of gymnasts to mount a comeback, and you just never know. It's early days. The 1/4 mark, that's all. It takes us to the end of the first rotation. 13.1 for Sydney Turner. Well done to her. That's down by just 2/10 from qualification. Really good start. She took her first World Cup medals earlier this year, including a bronze on floor in Hungary. Waiting for the last numbers to come in this first rotation. And then we'll be in a position to scrutinise the leaderboard and what all of it means at this early stage, the 25% mark of the women's team final. I think a moment to pause does us all the world of good right now. It's a tense competition. Great Britain and the United States of America will make their way onto the uneven bars. The score 12.4 for Laurie. So that is an improvement from qualification. She has gained about 1 3/4 marks. This is where we are at the moment. The United States of America, then Great Britain, then Brazil, then Italy. Top 4, absolutely, in the rankings they were after qualification, but quite a gap, daylight already between 3rd and 4th place. Very close, United States of America and Great Britain. It's going to be an enthralling uneven bars rotation. We are still none the wiser, but what should be said right now as we have a look at the 2 leading nations is that the quest for a bronze medal is very interesting. Brazil certainly have made their mark on the competition, courtesy of Andrade, and then we saw Oliveira's 13.2. Flavia Saraiva scored 13.666. For the Italians, they joined the Brazilians on the balance beam. Alice D'Amato scored 13.5 for Italy on the uneven bars, and Giorgia Vila 14.166. for the People's Republic of China. They head to floor. Should tell you that Japan produced also a 13 from Sakaguchi Ayaka. As we now look at the vaulters, which will be Canada and France. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos scored a 13.366 for France. On floor, Ellie Black a 13.1 for Canada, along with that score for Sydney Turner. Lolly Denome 12.933 and Aline Fries a score of 12. So that just about gets us to where we are now. Where we're going, we still don't fully know.
We're having a look at Leanne Wong of the United States warming up on the uneven bars. The U.S. has done something interesting strategically in putting Wong up on bars because she did not perform on the apparatus during the team qualification. Sky Blakely did. Blakely had a fall, and they've made a change to their lineup. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yes, it's the only situation where we have a did not compete from qualification in the final. Giorgia Vila of Italy on the balance beam.
This year she has been Italy's table setter on beam. Very complicated element. Round off with a full twist in the tuck position afterwards. And that too, the wolf turn. It might not look hard, but try it and you'll discover that it is. Double turn. Right on. She is looking so comfortable with this routine. Double twist dismount. Beautiful start for Italy.
Isn't that a compelling beginning to their balance beam rotation from Giorgia Vila, the three-time Youth Olympic champion from Buenos Aires in 2018. The gymnast who regrettably missed out on her senior Olympic debut due to injury. Yeah, that's very, very relieving work for the Italians. Let's have a look back.
It's always such a relief to get balance beam out of your system, really. Especially when you've got a routine that has that much risk in it.
And it was on the balance beam where Italy secured their World Championship bronze in 2019 as a team. They've shown that there are nerves of steel on that apparatus. To wit, to the uneven bars. And what is going to be a really important rotation in the destination of the medals, possibly the top two. Jessica Gadirova of Great Britain begins the second rotation for her team. She scored 13.166 in qualification.
Right off the bat, she's got quite a unique and important release combination. Pike Jaeger, and here it comes. Kachev with a half turn to immediate Ejeva. It's very tricky, and she handled it well. Perhaps a slight amount of form on the second skill, but she didn't come off, and that is what's important. Dismount, full twisting, double tuck, stuck.
Oh, what a dismount and what a reaction from the Liverpool faithful for Jessica Gadirova. You know, there are few things quite like the sight of an Ejeva.
Oh yes, this is it. And note that her legs bend a bit, that her feet are a bit flexed at the ankles. The judges will see that, and they will take a few small deductions, but it didn't hamper her swing, and she was able to go on cleanly. That is the most important thing.
Sakaguchi Ayaka of Japan takes to the floor. She won the bronze medal at the All Japan Event Championships, the apparatus finals in June. 20-year-old, one of the more experienced ones on the team. I think you can tell from that reaction from the crowd that they are really enjoying watching the Japanese team compete. And I'm sure you are as well. Sakaguchi Ayaka, who actually competed at the Asian Championships in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia in 2019, where she won a medal on vault. But as I restate, they are all World Championship debutants. To Emma Spence of Canada, the Youth Olympic Games bronze medalist on vault.
Yurchenko with 1.5 twist and a great landing.
Well, she had a splendid Commonwealth Games, the team all-around and balance beam bronze. Her score here, 13.633, exactly as in qualification for the 3-time Commonwealth Games medalist and the University of Nebraska's own Emma Spence. Georgia Vila's score, 13.733. Now that is a jump of almost a mark and a half up from qualification. It is a huge change. They've had no reason for their mood to dip, the Japanese team. Well done to them for their composure coming out here. It's a very tough balance to get right, the ebullience and yet also the level of focus. They don't seem to have any issues with that whatsoever. 12.8 is the score for Jessica Gadirova. So she's down by a few tenths from qualification for the reasons that Blythe you explored. A slight loss of form here and there. 13.2 for Sakaguchi Ayaka, and that is an improvement of over a tenth from the preliminary round. Oyu Shen of the People's Republic of China on floor. She scored 13.4 in qualification. from the People's Republic of China. Oyu Shen, the gold medalist on floor at the National Games last year, a very important competition in Chinese sport. Chinese team seeking to get back on track after a troublesome first rotation. On vault, Melanie Jesus dos Santos of France, the Olympian from Tokyo.
Vault is a very good apparatus for this French team. Although that is slightly surprising to see from Melanie, the compression on the landing was evident. But she did get through it, once again, without a fall. It looks good in the air. Just low landing with the chest and has to take the step forward.
13.7 as a result, up by less than a tenth from qualification. Now to the nation lying in third position coming into this rotation. Brazil with Rebeca Andrade, who scored 13.4 in qualification. The all-around silver medalist from the Olympic Games.
Very calm switch leap mount. And switch leaps in combination. Lovely beginning. Very small problem on the back handspring layout, but well controlled.
Well, things that you do not expect, things that come as a surprise.
It can all change in a moment. You can be going along so well, and then you do one thing and you come off.
But if ever there is one athlete in this entire field who has the numbers later on to accommodate something like that and to still give a very healthy score to the team, it is her.
Oh, certainly.
Rebeca Andrade. So, just a moment there, but Brazil have got a decent lead in third place over the fourth placed nation, Italy. To Leanne Wong of the United States of America on the uneven bars. A reminder, the gymnast who did not perform this piece in qualification.
Stalder blind to straddle Jaeger. And that is the Bahard wash, the full twisting pack salto. It's a skill that gave her trouble earlier this season, but absolutely none there. Very popular Van Leuven transition. So far, this is great.
Well, that is a decision that has paid dividends. Leanne Wong on the uneven bars with a super performance. She performed the move created by Mohini Bhardwaj, a gymnast who was actually in the 2001 team when the United States of America began this remarkable run of 10 consecutive team medals. To Colline de Villars of France on vault. European Championship medalist.
Handspring front 1.5 twist. It's a vault that has a very high difficulty tariff. She'll receive 5.4 points in difficulty. The double twisting Yurchenkos that we've been seeing are out of 5.0. Slight compression on the landing, which leads to that sizable step to the side. but overall, a really nice vault for France.
13.7 for the European champion from 2017. .766 for Lian Wong of the United States of America. The gymnast who won the silver medal on the uneven bars at the Pan American Games in Lima in 2019. Pan American medalist, Commonwealth champion. From one to t'other, this is Georgia May Fenton of Great Britain, the reigning two-time Commonwealth Games champion on the uneven bars.
Look out for this extraordinary release. That is a church with a half turn. The church, of course, named for Siobhan Church, who competed for Great Britain in the early 2000s. She has a very fluid swing. There's both power and grace in it. Kicks into a full twisting double tuck. Great routine.
And there we see how it is that Georgia May Fenton has won back-to-back uneven bars titles at the Commonwealth Games. A superb performance.
She absolutely stepped up and delivered here. This is her at the height of her capacities. Everything extended, the swing lovely. And right up on top of the bar, finishing things in handstand, connecting it to the full twisting double tuck dismount. Well done.
And it's a birthday tomorrow. 12.966 for Oyu Shen. Down by around half a mark, just a little under that, from the qualification campaign. Rebecca Andrade with a score of 12.833. That is a drop of over half a mark from the preliminary round. She's got some big vaulting to come and a great performance on floor. On the subject of vaulting, we'll have a look at Danielle Pedrick of Canada.
Double twisting Yurchenko with just a step back.
The 23-year-old from Brandon, the second largest city in Manitoba. She was part of the team that won a bronze at the Pan American Championships in Rio early this year. She was fourth in the vault final and is the reigning national champion. 13.866 for Danielle Pedrick. Graduate of exercise science and kinesiology from Central Michigan University. The finer details being attended to after they were certainly attended to on the apparatus. 13.633 for Georgia May Fenton. So she is down by half a mark from qualification. And we're staying with the uneven bars. And a look at the United States of America. Shilese Jones, 20-year-old from the lovely Pacific Northwestern city of Seattle.
And this is one of the most exciting routines at this championships. Her release skills are so well flighted, and there's an elegance to her work too, and so much difficulty. Stalder and Pike Kachev combined with the pack salto. Toe Stalder, blind to front giant, double front.
What a lovely display this is from the United States of America. Really outstanding start to their team competition. We'll come back to that in a moment. Zhang Jin of China on floor. Zhang Jin, part of the last Chinese team to take a medal at the World Championships in Doha in 2018. She's also the reigning Asian all-around champion.
Lovely presentation in that floor exercise. It's an ambitious routine. This is her round-off whip to triple twist. Very difficult to do that mid-routine. Most people do it at the beginning, if they do it at all.
14.333 is the score for Shilese Jones. That's a very healthy number. To Caroline Pedro of Brazil on the balance beam. Now, she was not due to be performing on this piece in the original start list. She's been brought in instead of Flavia Saraiva.
On her first series, the switch loop to Turgite, she was a bit tentative, actually did not make the connection as she usually does. And there as well, the left leg coming up. She needs to be a little more aggressive. That was better, the front saw me. But in a world team final, when there has been so much anticipation about your squad, having to come in for a teammate on the balance beam, that is really hard to do.
She has quietly gone about being one of the most decorated and experienced members of this Brazilian team, including winning the all-around silver medal at the South American Games in Asunción in Paraguay last month. The score 11.966. It's up by almost half a mark from qualification, indeed just over half a mark from qualification. Well done to Caroline Pedro. That was a difficult thing to have to do. Deserves a lot of credit, that experienced Brazilian gymnast, not just for that, but for her lengthy accomplishments. We await the clarification of the score for Zhang Jin. It's 12.866. She gains half a mark from qualification. Miyata Shoko of Japan. This scored 13.6 in qualification. The famous song in these parts refers to the sweet silver song of a lark. Well, it's a lark ascending the Japanese team, and they make your heart soar. But they're not just fun. That's difficult stuff. That is complex gymnastics. Very complex.
Her first pass was a full twisting double layout, one of the few that we will see tonight, and that 1.5 twist to front layout full, just right on, minimizing the landing deductions. And this too, capping off the routine with a double pike and a stuffed double pike at that. What a competition Japan is having, just what a competition.
She's from Sabai High School, Miyata Shoko, very famous for its gymnastics program. It's one thing to compete in a World Championship final, but what she has done and what they have done as a team at large is perform with an extraordinary sense of confidence and calmness at being out there on this grand stage. Hope you're enjoying all of the coverage so far. We're at the halfway point of this women's team final. The 32nd of its kind in the history of the World Championship, which is at its 51st edition. And as soon as we have the calculations completed, we'll be in a position to give you the halfway standings. And a little update to come on what we have seen and what we have not seen, because you can't see every single piece of action in a team final. The picture is a very interesting one. 13.7 for Miyata Shoko. She's gained a 10th from qualification. That is a really important score for the Japanese team. It means that at the halfway mark, there's no change at the top of the leaderboard. The gap has grown, 2.1. Canada have moved up into the bronze medal position. Canada currently in 3rd place. France have moved up 3 places into 4th. Italy have dropped down. Brazil have dropped down. It is thoroughly unpredictable at the moment. Brazil also had a 12.533 from Julia Suarez on the balance beam. Canada's move upwards can be partly attributed to a very successful rotation, but one on vault, where they do post some very solid numbers. Ellie Black with a 14.2. That was really important for the Canadian team. Now, just to tell you a little bit about things at the top of the table. Alice Kinsella scored 14.1 on the uneven bars. That performance by Charlize Jones, the best in that last rotation for either of the top two nations. Jordan Chiles scored 14.1. So we have the United States of America up by 2.1 marks over Great Britain. Great Britain have a good margin over the Canadian squad. France behind Canada by around a mark. Just under a mark behind them, the Italians. And then there's a matter of a couple of tenths between Italy and Japan, 5th to 6th place. There is just about 1/10 between Japan and Brazil, 6th to 7th. And then the People's Republic of China are about 2.5 marks behind Brazil in 8th position. And so we continue to be largely unaware of quite how this one is going to finish. But one thing is very clear. Well done, hugely well done to Canada, who have suddenly put themselves into very real medal contention. Thus we head to the balance beam for the United States of America and Great Britain. The USA, to remind you, in search of their 6th consecutive women's team title, a feat that has never been accomplished before. They have looked every inch the part. But if you're a long-time gymnastics fan, you don't need me to tell you that things can change on the balance beam. The USA are the equivalent of 2 unintentional dismounts from the balance beam ahead of Great Britain. Let us begin the 3rd rotation. Jade Carey to start things off. She scored 13.133 in qualification.
She has a very calm and careful style on this apparatus. But she can unleash big difficulty, like here. Back handspring, lay out, lay out. And composure that she is demonstrating is just state of the art. There's just the dismount left, and she tends to make this look easy as well. Back handspring, double pike.
You do get some rather good numbers, don't you, from Jade Carey in a team competition. What a member of this squad, and what a squad at large. The United States of America leading the way and looking very good value for that lead. Now to France, who have put themselves in 4th place. We see Aline Fries on the uneven bars, 13.233 in qualification.
Just a slight form break on the pack salto. Cleanly through the Jaeger. Hop change, dismount, double front.
You know, France are part of this discussion. They absolutely are. And they're not the only team that is jostling around just below those provisional podium places. And that will help a great deal to get them established in this second half of the competition. Just one medal ever for France. It was in 1950. We'll come back to them. Now to Sakaguchi Ayaka.
She too will show a double twisting Yurchenko and a stuck one at that. Well.
Stuck and stunning. Sakaguchi Ayaka, who won the silver medal on vault 4 years ago at the Asian Championships. She's proven herself to be a very reliable competitor on this piece. That is getting close to picture perfect.
Just a dart-like landing.
14.2. She gains 2/10 from qualification. 9.2 execution score. For Jade Carey, it's 12.8, 10th penalty applied to her score. Not much of a change from qualification, just a few tenths. Big performance from her on floor to come, where she really does deliver, including at the very highest level of all. Ondina Champong now of Great Britain on the balance beam. Silver medalist at the European Championships.
A very elegant mount, the front walkover. Usually, her flight series is a back handspring to 2 layout step outs, just like we just saw from Jade Carey. Well, sequences like that are allowing us some one-to-one comparison between the United States and Great Britain, and Great Britain is not backing down. Beautiful switch ring. Up to now, it has been phenomenal from Ondina Champong. Back handspring, 2.5 twist. Listen to the crowd roar.
And they are right too. That was supreme from Ondina Champong, the young gymnast from Hertfordshire, from Kings Langley.
The heart goes right into the throat when you watch her tumble across the balance beam. But this was handled with precision and calm.
Vaulting for the People's Republic of China, Tang Xijing.
This is a lower difficulty vault than many that we've seen tonight. The Yurchenko with just a full twist. We've seen quite a lot of double full twists, and it's reflected in the difficulty. The double twisting Yurchenko starts at 5.0. The full twisting Yurchenko starts at only 4.2. So well done it is, but it's not going to receive a score anything like what we've seen from many of the others.
13.133 is the number for Tang Xijing. So she gains just over a tenth from the preliminary round. 12.966. The score for Aline Fries. That's down by around 3/10 from qualification. It's a very interesting team final to navigate oneself through because there still seem to be a huge number of variables. Caroline Adouy is next to perform for France on the uneven bar. She scored 13.466 in qualification. She's the French all-around national champion.
She's a wonderful all-around gymnast, and the French are very lucky to have her. She can bring in big scores on every apparatus. Great combination. The ray to a back salto. Cleanly through the Van Leuven. Dismount should be a double front. It is.
France is starting to believe. Very much at the races. The French squad. Caroline Adouy following Aline Fries. And we head now to the Brazilian squad on floor. This was a quite superb performance in qualification. Rebecca Andrade scored 14.2 for this routine earlier on. What now? Could they get back into this? Rebecca Andrade of Brazil throws a spanner into the works, but it's the best kind of spanner. It is a spectacular display on floor from her. What a gymnast. I mean, just what a gymnast. And meanwhile, we're with a reminder of Ondina Champong, who scored 13.7 on the balance beam. Now, that is a gain of almost a full mark from qualification. Yet more to digest. Caroline Adouy, 13.433, almost the same as qualification for her. France progressing well. Canada, third place coming into the rotation. Ellie Black on the uneven bars.
And for all the young gymnasts out there who think that uneven bars is not your apparatus, you just have to look at Ellie Black and the spectacular work that she's doing, including her own release skill right there, to understand that through years of hard work and perseverance, you can make the apparatus that is not your good apparatus into one of your very best.
Oh, marvelous. You couldn't really wish for a better role model to have if you're those gymnasts. Anytime you feel a flutter of nerves. You look around, you see her and you go, well, I'm in good company.
It has been a decade that we have been able to see Ellie Black on the uneven bars, and every year she has progressed, gotten better, and today she's phenomenal.
Georgia May Fenton of Great Britain next to compete on the balance beam. She scored 12.1 in qualification. What a secure beginning.
Side aerial back handspring, her acrobatic series. Beautiful turn with the leg at head. A 360-degree turn is a requirement on balance beam, but she chooses to take extra risk and make it even more beautiful. The Humphrey turn, 3 times around in the Cossack position. This has been focused, and this has been nearly flawless. Just the dismount.
Oh, what a team final this is! And what a display at home from the British squad. Georgia May Fenton really needs to be given the just accolades for her development as a gymnast. She has quietly and effectively gone about becoming one of the best in the world and one of the most reliable.
And speaking of quiet and effective, this turn, the hardest skill in her balance beam routine, she nailed it.
Miyata Shoko of Japan takes to the vaulting table.
Once again, double twisting Yurchenko, and what a landing. We thought that her teammate had a great stick. How is that even better?
Every time you see her do this vault, you think it can't get better, and it seems to.
You're sitting there shaking your head in disbelief, Ollie.
I am. I really am.
Yes, you did just see what you think you just saw.
14.4. She's gone up by a 10th in qualification.
9.4 execution. 9.4.
Japan, only 2 medals in team competition. In the 60s, both of them. 14.033 for Ellie Black on the uneven bars. She gains a couple of tenths. Rebecca Andrade, 14.066. That's an important number for Brazil, just to try to keep them in touching distance of the group that is also trying to get in touching distance.
We take another look at the dismount of Georgia May Fenton. Double tuck, really well controlled.
She is the reigning English balance beam champion.
And you can just feel the momentum building for Great Britain, can't you? With every routine that goes well.
The crowd here are a fascinating mix of raucous and silent, jumping from one to t'other. And I would imagine you are the same watching at home as well. .333, that's unrecognisable from qualification. A gain of over 1.2 marks.
And when you think about it, Britain was about a point back compared to the United States in team qualification on balance beam. She's just done herself 1.2 better. Interesting. Very interesting, isn't it?
Sky Blakely now for the United States of America, a 13.733 in qualification.
The beautiful mount, introduced to the world by Daniela Silevaș of Romania during the 1980s. And once again, the amazing turn.
She really was not too far away.
She really wasn't. And this is one of the most difficult skills that you do on the balance beam. Standing back tuck with a full twist. Almost nobody attempts it because it's so hard. And despite the fall, she gets right up and she nails the front handspring front tuck. Again, one of the most difficult things you can do on the balance beam. Incredible composure.
This is her senior World Championship debut. She was part of the team that won bronze in Hungary at the Junior World Championships in 2019.
And she should have the opportunity to do this balance beam routine again in the apparatus final. The variety and the elegance were rewarded.
She may have come off, but what a stellar recovery from Sky Blakely of the United States of America. Sometimes you are going to come off the apparatus, but it's how you respond after it. And that was about as flawless a response to pressure as you can get.
There's so much going on in a standing back full, and she has such a narrow place to land. That is what balance beam is all about. And sometimes it doesn't go your way. Today it wasn't, but tomorrow maybe.
Sydney Turner of Canada.
Beautiful in-bar Stalder sequence to begin the routine, connected to a Pike Jaeger, rather. Wanted to say Pike Kachev. Beautiful swing throughout, double layout dismount.
What an extraordinary thing we're seeing here. This Canadian team that came in as the 8th strongest in qualification are unquestionably part of the medal race going into the final rotation.
Here she had to make a slight adjustment. She actually probably wanted to go over the bar and continue that turn. And she has really quick thinking in just going into her giants, not trying to improvise and repeat too much. Very smart decision from Sydney Turner.
13.333, a gain of a couple of tenths from the preliminary round. We talked about the Japanese squad being quite inexperienced. Other than Ellie Black, they have 4 debutants at World Championship level. This Canadian team. And now we look back at the United States of America. This is the dismount of Sky Blakely, the 17-year-old. She's the youngest on their team.
And she found the ground wonderfully on this. We haven't seen too many sticks. And indeed, in today's gymnastics environment, we don't see too many sticks of beam dismounts. So this is really nice.
Come on now.
And it is a very difficult routine anyway, a 6 difficulty, so 13.266. She's actually only down by half a mark from qualification. That's a brilliant example of how you deal with coming off the apparatus. That's a lesson for every gymnast out there. Alice Kinsella of Great Britain.
This is pivotal for Britain's effort. calm. Her teammates behind her are cheering her on. We know you've got it, they said. Here's a huge test. Side aerial, back layout.
Now a moment for Great Britain's Alice Kinsella just to steady herself and return to the apparatus.
Oh, nice recovery.
We've seen two gymnasts, one after the other. One of them a young athlete, one of them a real veteran in the team, respond extremely well to coming off the apparatus. Alice Kinsella did everything she could after getting back on to keep that score as high as possible. Now the first chance to have a look at Manila Esposito, a 15-year-old. She turns 16 tomorrow. Senior international debut for her. It is an enormous responsibility to come into this team of greats. She's the youngest competitor out there in this final, Manila Esposito. She has demonstrated exceptional form recently in domestic competitions at national championship level, and we will see a great deal more of her as a gymnast in the future. Her promise is undeniably huge. It's 12.266 for Alice Kinsella. So that is a drop of close to a full mark in qualification, 8/10 down. So the gap between the United States of America and Great Britain is likely to grow just a fraction, not a great deal. But you're going to be in for a very interesting leaderboard to scrutinise in a moment or two. And you'll see why. We're getting close to the start of the final rotation. United States of America getting closer and closer to number 6 in a row. We have a look at Fukasawa Kokoro of Japan on vault.
Yurchenko 1.5 twist to cap off an amazing rotation on vault for Japan. She has reason to celebrate.
And they might well have reason to celebrate. .6 the score for Fukasawa Kokoro. And what that means for Japan, well, it's quite extraordinary, this. It is quite extraordinary. We've got to confirm the score first for Manila Esposito before we can give you the three-quarter standings. Did you see it being like this, wherever in the world you're watching from?
So look at the last tumbling line of Manila Esposito. The double tuck, under-rotated, perhaps a bit of fatigue at the end of the routine. Has to put her hands down.
She won the all-around title at a lovely competition called the Joachim Blume Memorial at the start of the month, named after a wonderful Spanish gymnast who very sadly lost his life all too young in a plane crash. It's a very important competition. She did wonderfully to win it. Score 11.6 on this occasion for Manila Esposito. Did very well on the balance beam earlier. Up 3 places into bronze, Japan. Yes, that is correct. They're just ahead of Canada. That is also correct. France have dropped down. Brazil have moved up. United States of America have gained a 10th of advantage over Great Britain, who have about a mark and a half over Japan. It is now Japan who head to the uneven bars in the bronze medal position. A reminder that Canada has never won a women's team medal. They will finish on the balance beam, where it is rather useful to have someone like Ellie Black. The United States of America and Great Britain will conclude their competition, as is customary for the top 2 qualifiers, on the floor. And just look at that list of names competing on the floor. So many accolades. Regional, national, continental, Olympic champions doing their work on the floor to conclude this World Championship final. Now, this is where Brazil will make a push for things. They've had to adjust their squad as they've gone through. Flavia Saraiva not taking part in the way that was expected after having injury problems in qualification. It is always a good thing when one witnesses a gymnast not competing when they have picked up an injury. And I'm sure you know, if you're watching this as a gymnast, that you probably want to go out there and compete. You probably want to deliver everything you have. And sometimes it is best to fight the longer battle, to play the longer game, and to not participate when you're at risk of doing something very, very serious. And for a gymnast like Flavia Saraiva, it is her safety and her well-being that is of far more importance than whatever piece of silverware might be given out at the conclusion of a competition. The Brazilian team have adjusted very well to it. They've given everything they have. And they have got some strong numbers, especially from Andrade, to come on vault, so you never know, you just never know what might happen. Great Britain will be looking forward. They'll be looking over their shoulder as well at Japan.
Let's go, girls. Let's go, y'all got it.
United States of America with a very healthy advantage. Jennifer Gadirova of Great Britain, with her first and only performance in this team final. And that is how you start a final rotation when you're going in search of your best ever finish as a team at the World Championships. This British team just continues to deliver at the highest level. And it was worth waiting for to see Jennifer Gadirova in this final.
What phenomenal tumbling. Front layout here through to round off back handspring, double tuck. And she knows exactly where she is, just the smallest of hops.
Emma Spence of Canada on the balance beam. The nation in 4th position coming into this last rotation, pushing for a medal. They've done phenomenally, whatever happens.
Bend at the hips after the front aerial. And doesn't connect it into the jumps the way that she wanted to. However, that back handspring to lay out to 2 feet was just solid. The side saw me. She's gotten a lot of experience at the University of Nebraska competing in front of large crowds.
And she has said, Emma Spence, that actually she loves performing in this country. She enjoyed so much the atmosphere at the Commonwealth Games. She's enjoyed the atmosphere here in Liverpool. And Canada are likely, whatever happens, to really enjoy looking at the scoreboard. Phenomenal from them. 13.433 from Jennifer Gadirova. Just a couple of tenths shy of her qualification performance. Shilese Jones from the United States of America, the reigning national champion on floor. She follows in the footsteps of the greats, and she looks like one of them, because she is.
She has trained so diligently for years for this moment. How wonderful to see her have it.
Yamada Shiharu of Japan. 19-year-old from the wonderful city of Osaka in Honshu. She is the national champion on the uneven bars.
impenetrable so far. It's a long way between the bars on that Van Leuven. But just like everything else Japan has attempted tonight, she's done it well.
Are they not aware that they're not supposed to be in contention? Oh, it is just the most remarkable thing to witness, this Japanese squad. They said themselves, didn't they? They were thrilled simply to make the final. It went beyond their wildest expectations. That's a common cliche, but it's true of them. They absolutely did not expect to be in this position. 12.233 for Emma Spence of Canada. 4th place, the Canadian team, coming into the final rotation. That will do very nicely, 13.733. Less than a 10th down from qualification for Shilese Jones. They're getting there, they're almost there now, the USA. Alice Kinsella of Great Britain scored 12.13 on floor in qualification. Great Britain with Alice Kinsella, the leader figure of this team, the gymnast about whom they all say we can't do it without her. What a team final this has been from Great Britain. To find themselves defending 2nd place at the World Championships, coming into the last rotation. Now, meanwhile, we have to keep an eye on things over on vault, because certainly there are teams that are in contention here. Let's start with Alice D'Amato of Italy.
Her own double twisting Yurchenko, really well performed. Her twin sister, Asia, who is not here because she is injured, is the reigning world silver medalist on vault. And Asia's double twisting Yurchenko looks quite a lot like that. Very good approach.
14.3 is her score. So Italy just making a strong case for themselves. Brazil, likewise. It's all still up in the air. And the People's Republic of China are over on the uneven bars, where they really do excel, but with quite a lot of ground to make up coming into this final rotation. That will be of enormous help to Japan. 13.666. Exactly as in qualification for their reigning national champion. Call out to the rest of their team to give it everything they have. And she'll give it everything she has. Big vault coming up for Brazil. Rebeca Andrade.
One of history's great vaulters.
Oh, yes.
And that was one of the great vaults of this World Championships. A Cheng, round off, half onto the table, front 1.5 off. Brilliant.
And look at that number, 15.166. Brazil put themselves, with that performance, into contention. We did suspect that the numbers were there to be made up with Brazil. 13.133 for Alice Kinsella. A jump of a full mark from qualification. Now to the Olympic champion on floor, Jade Carey. Never has it been done. 6 in a row. Never has it been done. And it's minutes away from being done. And my goodness, aren't you fortunate as a team if you've got that kind of performance to put into your last rotation. Jade Carey, the Olympic champion.
What an extraordinary routine filled with tremendously difficult tumbling passes. And she makes them all look so easy. Full twisting double back to end.
Watanabe Hazuki of Japan. First time we've seen her, the only time we'll see her in this final.
She's got a strong, smooth swing. Nice combinations. Slightly overbalanced high bar handstand, but it's not going to matter. Blind change to Jaeger. Toast-Alder half turn, Giants winding up for a double layout.
And still, they challenge. Still, they keep themselves in the hunt for the most improbable of World Championship medals. Remarkable. The 18-year-old from Mie Prefecture. .766. Japan currently in 4th position. But time for things to change. What doesn't look like it's going to change is the USA at the top of the leaderboard. .14.1, the number produced by Jade Carey to further the United States of America's compelling case to win this title. from an Olympic champion to the reigning European champion, Jessica Gadirova. If this is to be a second-place finish, it's a silver medal won. Nothing has been lost here by this British team. They've taken the hearts of Liverpool and the country with them too. This is a jaw-dropping team final, Blythe.
And this is the strongest that Great Britain has ever looked in world team competition.
Simply superb. Their conclusion to this competition coming from Jessica Gadirova, the reigning European champion. What tumbling!
The way to finish a routine is with a perfectly stuck landing, and she delivered that.
Now to a really important routine on the uneven bars for Japan. They're looking for a score in excess of, or around 12.1 I should say, for Fukasawa Kokoro to put them above Brazil.
Stalder in, Paitkachev out. Wild on the pack salto. But once again, she doesn't stop, and that is of paramount importance.
This is the most extraordinary fight from Fukasawa Kokoro to keep this one going. She's hung on, and Japan have hung on until the very end of this competition. She's managed somehow to get through that Jaeger, and ultimately this brave young gymnast has come off the apparatus. But I tell you what, could she have fought more for that? No.
Unfortunately, I believe she will lose 2 full marks. The first one for stopping. Even though she does continue on, that will be regarded as a fall. But what tenacity to just say, no, I'm going to not drop off the bars. I'm going to continue. And to do just that.
And so another change of direction, perhaps, in this team competition. But do not for a moment let this be your defining memory of this Japanese team. Do not for a second think that they have done anything other than exceeded all possible expectations. They were never, ever meant to be here. Never expected to be challenging for a medal. This team of debutants, as Jessica Gadirova scores 14.266, it sends Great Britain into the lead with just the United States of America to go on floor. So it's now Great Britain, and we'll come back to the rest of the leaderboard in a moment because it's getting very interesting, but to Jordan Childs of the USA. Blakely, Carey, Childs, Jones, Wong, Zeiss. Don't write their names down, carve them in stone, for they are the history makers. Now things are getting fascinating in the quest for this bronze medal. Let's go over to Canada and to Ellie Black on the balance beam. To a Canadian team that has never won a World Championship medal.
The mount sequence was brilliant. Switch leap to switch half to Corbett. Her acrobatic series coming up. Back handspring, layout to 2 feet.
This is a gymnast who is used to seeing a medal and grabbing hold of it. This is one of the proven performers in world gymnastics. That is Ellie Black. There's only one of her, but she's got a team with her, and she might just have taken them into uncharted territory.
She has looked so calm and composed throughout the competition, and indeed throughout this routine. Round off 2.5 twist dismount, and it was just amazing. It has been amazing for Canada tonight.
The 8th strongest in qualifying. They don't look like it there. 13.833. Canada have gone above Brazil. And as a result, they are going to make history for their nation. The score for Fukasawa Kokoro is 9.4. Japan finding themselves in 6th position. But these are debutants at the World Championships, all of them. Let's see them again in the future. Let's see what they do next. It is confirmed. It is Jordan Childs who makes the USA the best by miles. They have won the title, they're 6th. Nobody's ever done it before. They were the favourites. They have proven why. You think of women's team gymnastics, you think of the United States of America, and you can think of nothing else. It is now confirmed that Great Britain have taken the silver and Canada, the 8th strongest qualifiers, have won the bronze medal. And if right now, watching around the world, you saw that, if you called Canada as the bronze medalist, go to your nearest window, open it and scream, "I am a genius," because you knew something the rest of us didn't.
For Ellie Black, 10 years on the Canadian national team, and finally a world team medal.
These debutants, and we've seen many a debutant, and we should just remind ourselves as well, amidst all of this, that Jordan Childs herself is a World Championship debutant. The gymnast who many say has done her career almost in reverse. But Great Britain, their best ever finish at the World Championships, a silver medal. The greatest that Britain has ever looked, there is no doubt about it. And yet again, it's a home World Championships that delivers something that has never happened before. Ellie Black is moved to tears. I'm sure she's not the only one. The United States of America are your world champions. Great Britain, the silver medalists. Canada have just won bronze for the first time in their history. And thus draws to a close one of the most remarkable team finals you'll ever see. The classified results in the women's team competition: the bronze medal to Canada, the silver medal won by Great Britain, and the gold medal 6 times in a row. The United States of America have done that which has never been done before. Let's have a look back at some of the finest moments of this team competition. In just a short while, we'll bring you the victory ceremony for this women's team competition. Take a breath, take a moment, you probably need it. We'll be back with scenes of celebration in a short while.
ceremony for the women's team final is about to commence. Please join me in welcoming the medalists and presentation party into the arena.
It's now time for the medal ceremony in the women's team competition here in Liverpool. Absolutely remarkable women's team competition, concluding with a remarkable podium full of history. For One Nation, it was about the continuation of a legacy. For one, it was about doing that which had never been done before. For another, it was about going further than they had ever seen their teammates go. All of them have played their part in a quite remarkable women's team final, and now they get to enjoy the fruits of their labours. Not in their wildest dreams, surely. Not in their wildest dreams.
Presenting the gold medals, Ali Al-Hitmi, Vice President of the International Gymnastics Federation. Presenting the silver medals, Dame Kathleen Granger, Chair, UK Sport. Presenting the bronze medals,
What a presentation
Joanne
party there.
Anderson, Mayor of Liverpool.
Kathleen Granger, phenomenal athlete.
In third place, and winners of the bronze medal, Canada!
It is absolute fantasy. This Canadian team, my goodness.
Ellie Black, Laurie Delamy, Shalom Olsen, Danielle Patrick, Emma Spence, and Sydney Turner, and coached by Laurie Ann Henderson.
The medalist Ellie Black, and bringing with her the debutants Laurie Denome, Danielle Pedrick, Emma Spence and
In
Sydney
second
Turner.
place,
And a special
and
moment
winners
to
of
acknowledge
the
Shalon
silver
Olsen,
medal,
who had to withdraw before the start of
Great
competition
Britain.
due to a family bereavement. Great Britain, the winners of the silver medal. The best performance ever
Represented
by this nation.
Ondina Champon, Georgia May Fenton, Jennifer Gadarova, Jessica Gadarova, Alice Kinsella, and Poppy Grace Stickler.
Ondina
And
Champon,
coached by
Georgia
Molly Mae
May
Richardson.
Fenton, Jennifer Gadirova, Jessica Gadirova and Alice Kinsella, joined by Poppy Stickler.
And in first place, winners of the gold medal and world champions, the United States of America.
6 in a row. And those are the 6 that have done it.
Represented by Sky Blakely, Jade Carey, Jordan Child, Shalise Jones, Leanne Wong, and Lexi Zeiss. And coached by
Sky
Brian Christopher
Blakely,
Carey.
Jade Carey, Jordan Childs, Shilese Jones, Leanne Wong and Lexi Zeiss. They are the champions of the world. Now the moment has finally come. The presentation of the bronze, silver and gold medals. Canada, Great Britain and the world champions once again, the United States of America. 11 consecutive podium finishes in women's team competition. The first time ever for their neighbours to the north and their neighbours on the podium today. Canada doing something which seemed pure fantasy. And we'll have the national anthem of the United States of America.
The United States of America.
It plays for the 6th time in honour of the United States of America, 6 times in a row. And there they are, the women's team medalists at the World Championships of Artistic Gymnastics on the shores of the River Mersey in Liverpool. Truly the most extraordinary of podiums. And the most extraordinary of gymnastics legacies. A tremendous reception for all of these gymnasts as they depart the competition floor, and as the time comes for us to depart as well from these World Championships. On the first day of finals action, we leave you with the scenes of the United States of America getting their teeth into gold number 6 in a row. Oh, how she's worked for that, how she has worked and waited, and she waits no more. It's been a great pleasure having your company for this women's team final. The men's team final takes place tomorrow. Plenty more action still to come from the M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool. Until tomorrow, goodbye.